and that's going to open this right back up. Of course, Chopper is going to struggle a little bit with the economy, but there are a lot of close-range positions that we can see on this map, so the Tech 9 may actually not be the worst weapon to have.
Tech 9, nice up close and personal. You can do some great stuff with it, Tom, so certainly not going to be riding that one off at all, but it comes down to can he play it up close and personal? That's going to be the key factor. Of course, we're looking towards this position now. It's going to be them actually fairly spread towards outside here, with just that one player actually being Kutcher up close in towards the A kind of shack position. And I'm not a big fan of the how split they are, especially with the Tech 9 taking outside. Unless he can push himself completely deep along that inner wall and get himself out there without being taken down, there's not too much use he can have at that range.
Yeah, of course, playing outside does have that different strategy altogether. Cajun now taking over from his teammate. We do see presence there from Config over towards the secret position, and that really didn't work out at all. They smoked Cajun out, and they just pushed straight on in. And it's sort of questionable, because Config was doing very, very well on the outside position. Obviously, it was for the majority of time against pistols, but either way, he's now been moved into a different position, which doesn't seem to be working too well for him. 2 rounds in a row, he's been taken out very, very quickly, and instead, now it's going to be down to the remaining players, and Casper over towards the B side, taken down almost instantly, leaving a 5 versus 3 in favor of the T side.
Looking very strong for them here. They are going to be looking to pick up another round. It's going to be Magic, Cajun B and MSL, though, looking to stop this one right in its tracks. They have 2 rifles in North, and already a bit of gunfire being exchanged as we see Kutcher. He's going to be getting that bomb down over towards the B side. And, well, 100% correct, Tom. They are going straight for the save, running towards the hills there. And it's an interesting decision, but at the same time, I think they know that that retake attempt is just going to be so difficult. So going for the save, it will allow them to have those 2 rifles and an AWP in the 6th round there. So it's a little bit risky. It's not the greatest thing you want to see from a side like Dignitas, but at the same time, realistically speaking, if Dignitas drop a couple of rounds, they should be able to bring things back here. As much as I wanted to say that on the last map, it didn't happen, but Nuke, especially with this sort of CT side, they should be able to pull it off.
Yeah, they should be able to. Whether they can or not is another thing altogether. I am a bit worried already that we're seeing a few rounds so early on being built up for the CIS side, and especially that clean. That's the worst thing about it. They didn't take anybody down. Yes, they managed to go and save. Yes, they'll be able to get a buy back, but the buy is not particularly good. It's basically, okay, we've kept the rifles from the previous round. Now you just buy up some rubbish that you can add into our buy. And although the shotguns can be quite plausible over towards the hut position on the inside of the map, I would say that I'm not too happy about the 5.7, even if it is on the sort of stand-in that you're not expecting too much on. The only real problem at the moment is that is not, well, that's not a play I want to be seeing. Config going very aggressive. But the problem is that you've already got MSL, who you don't really see as a fragger for the team. Now you add in the sort of problem already that you have of Casper, and then it really does leave your team in a bit of a weaker scenario, especially if the rest of your so-called star players don't step up. And already we see Cajun managing to get one. Config went for an almost suicidal run towards the hands of Little, who will do his job very well as he finds that first frag. And, well, Cajun B's not long for the world after that, as he is traded for the remainder of the round, though. The T's have slowed things right down. Casper isn't playing a bad position with the 5.7. The only problem is if he has to rotate back into a site, then he's going to have his problems. If the 5.7 is not really a gun that you want to have to rotate with. Nice one from MSL. We'll use the shotgun, but Spaz is already there to trade. And now we see the rotation coming out from Casper. He's going to try and shoot while going up the ladder, which actually works out for him, but he's down to 19 HP in a 2 versus 2. And Magic, he needs to get there very, very quickly. Will manage to stop the bomb, but it's Electronic versus Casper, the stand-in, the coach, versus arguably the star. And we'll see whether or not he can pull this one back.
With just 19 HP to play, it's looking so bleak, but he got the jump, but it doesn't matter. Electronic will flick to his head, takes him down with a bullet straight to the chest there. And we're going to be seeing NokSuKao pick up around. Some great stuff coming out from Electronic. They are going to be making things 3-3, and now they're going to be bearing their rewards as they find themselves comfortably getting those rifles up. Going to be no AWP in play, it seems. Little actually opting to buy a rifle, which is something that was a heavily contested topic in the last map. We actually saw Little at one point not buying a rifle at all, just opting for the pistol, but he did manage to pick up an AWP in the end, so it kind of worked out from there. This time around, buying up the rifle, and kind of, all eyes on him, you could say, to see if he can find a frag.
Well, it's more the factor of the map itself. I feel like a T-sided AWP isn't the most effective, especially in this scenario when you're looking at just pistols board in. He will find MSL. I think they know that the economy is not there, and just handing over an AWP would be very damaging to their team. A kill will come in, but it's only a team frag, so not really helpful for the cause of Dignitas at all. And Magisk now going to be the last one left alive versus 5 players trying to clean something up. I'm not too sure he can.
A very difficult situation indeed. We saw a team kill rolling on the board as well, which is a bit of a unique one, you could say. So we're just going to be watching man just creep around through those corridors, tiptoeing, trying not to wake anybody, you might say. He's just going to be trying to bide his time here, looking for a close frag. Electronic will present himself. Is he going to find it? The answer is going to be no. Electronic will take him down. And NokSuKao, they're going to pick up another simple round, taking no damage at all. And that's going to be the big factor. Taking not a single piece of damage, their economy is going to be getting better and better as the rounds tick by here. And well, on a CT side nuke, we should be seeing Dignitas be taking a bit of more of an advantageous lead.
Well, at the moment it really is. I can see 2 players on, or 1 on either side, that are making the difference. We saw for the first 3 rounds Config with 10 frags. Now for the next few we've seen Electronic with 10 frags. Either way, it's just that split, and now they're going to go very aggressive into the A side. It's going to come down to those crossfires. Magic will manage to get 1. MSL does the same, but it's Electronic trading every frag along the way. I've seen this before, but luckily this time Cajun will manage to trade that one out. It's going to leave Kutcher and Spaz in a position to try and clutch this one out with the CTs rotating in. They need to make the big difference here. They need to get this round on the board, because if NokSuKao are able to get away with another one, it would hurt the economy of the CT side even more. We will see the push coming in from Casper. He's looking for this aggressive play up the ladder, but there's going to be 2 players now in heaven, and the remaining player will be coming from outside. The timing is going to have to be perfect, but it's Kucha, it's Spaz. They find both frags, and Cajun B, he's just forced out by a smoke, leaving no chance for him to actually get back in there, and that was what I was talking about. Team play needed to be big. There was none.
Just apparently so lacking, and it's going to be disappointing to witness this one. Cajun B looking to run away with his life there, looking to save that AWP into the 9th round, as we're going to be seeing Dig just fall 1 more step behind as we find ourselves on a 3-5 scoreline. And at this point, are we going to keep seeing a 3-6 and then a 3-7? Where will the penny drop for Dignitas? Where will they begin to fight back and start to bring something to the table? Because right now, they're struggling in a massive factor. You said team play was an issue. It's not just team play at this point. We're seeing players struggling to find frags, struggling to play as a unit overall. And that's just going to become a big prospect. It's going to be a painful one for the Dig side.
Yeah, and well, they're going to be left with pistols and an AWP onto Cajun. They've now lost themselves 5 rounds in a row, which is not something that they would have been wanting to have on that favoured side. But there is that AWP making a difference. The first kill will come onto Spaz. If Cajun could go absolutely huge in this position and actually bring back this round, it would be so very valuable for his team. He's managed to grab a second as well. There is little down and out of the round, and this AWP is already having a big case. Chopper, he is yet to frag, and that's quite crazy considering the fact that they're actually winning on that T side. Obviously it is the harder side to play on in the normal of what we've seen so far, but it's looking like NokSuKao have got off to that start that they need. The push is going to come out, Kutcher's going to find 1 frag straight back, and they are back to trying to bring this round into their favour, a round that should go in their favour, but whether it will, we're just waiting to see if they respond.
Look at Electronic though, he's just right behind Magic, he catches him off guard, and well, the problem here is, Tom, that the only big weapon they've got is going to be 1 AWP. The rest of the weapons they've got, CZs and 5.7s, and well, taking those gun battles up against these rifles could be exceptionally painful indeed when they try and take these long-range fights that they are being forced into. You see Electronic just diving around through vents, and if he gets himself up close, he can find a frag. He will find the first, looking for a second, whips out the knife at the wrong time though, and well, MSL will take him down, brings it back to a 2v2, and now we see an AWP and a rifle in play. This is looking much better for the Dig side, and well, albeit they don't have a man advantage anymore, they do suddenly have a lot more to play with going into this clutch scenario, and he's going to be seeing Kidman. He's going to be trying his best, looking for a attack, will be exchanged on both sides, but eventually he will come out on top. And we find ourselves looking at 1 player and 1 player, and it's all going to be MSL. The Molotov burning him away there. Kutcher going to be forced completely to push up close in towards Harters. MSL looking to isolate Cajun B, but it's not going to be enough, or I'm not sure why I said Cajun B, it wasn't Jack Chopper. But Chopper will find the frag, takes MSL down, and they are going to find the round.
Yeah, no, that's big for them, of course. Really important for them to continue that on, and well, what a way to get your first kill, taking the head off MSL as he tries to clutch out this scenario. Either way, 6 rounds already on the board for the T side. The loss bonus has been built up, and that was off the basis of just 1 AWP, so not a bad round at all for the CT side if you take that as a single round, but in the terms of, or in the grand scale of things, it really isn't looking very good so far. They'd have to have a similar sort of round difference anyway on that T side if they're going to pull this one off, and if we are looking at an old style nuke, they would be absolutely screwed at this stage.
Of course, we do see MSL, he's going to be leaking over towards these rafters positions, looking for something. There's going to be Cajun B stepping up once again, a player that mentioned at the wrong time, but now mentioning himself at the right time, finding 1 frag, looking to make it 2, make it even 3 in fact. as he had such a huge impact in the round before with the AWP, looking to repeat a similar fate. But is he going to be able to pull off? Looking towards outside, looking towards Electronic, who's standing in the smoke. But nothing will present itself just yet now as he dives himself back down under, taking that ladder down to the lower levels. As Spaz Chopper could be grouped up, looking to push through Secret.
Either way, we see the build-up coming in. The T players obviously with a man disadvantage this time, and it looks like we are waiting to see. Spaz will manage to find one frag. The push is going to be coming in already, and you see Little actually just trying to hold this one down with any sort of response coming in the rotation, but the rotation has got past him. They're already making their way forward. Spaz, he's going to manage to get another kill, and this just leaves 2 players left as Chopper grabs his second of the game. This is just going to leave Config and Cajun to try and defend this one out, leaving it in an almost impossible scenario. And in fact, Little had the bomb the whole time. He goes and plants on A, leaves the remaining player of Cajun with no clue what's going on, and also an AWP to try and retake versus 3.
One man, a tough situation. Can he pull it off? He does have a flash to play with. He does have the armor, but I think at this point he knows that it is not worth going for this one. He's going to be stuck right out towards the open. He's got a player looking up right behind him. It's going to be Chopper pushing up on his heels. But I don't think he's quite clocked onto that one just yet, as he will be just tiptoeing around through the inner workings of those corridors, looking to at least escape with something. Takes a beautiful frag, takes down Spaz, in fact. It's a great rate for him to be able to walk away with things, as he's now going to be looking to get himself over towards spawn there, running for the hills. And he is going to walk away with that AWP indeed. We roll into our 11th round now. A great start here from NokSuKao, really pushing ahead on their T side. Certainly not the expected fate, but it's going to be a good way for them to kick things off. And now we see a pause roll in, and I'm hoping that this is going to be a tactical pause for the Dig side, because
had a bit of a slow start. He's starting to bounce back as well, although Little, yeah, he's still a bit slow, but this is not a map where you'd say, do you know what, yeah, T-side AWP, that's great.
yeah, it's really not needed at all, and when you see the rest of those players stepping up, you said Chopper, he's easing his way into this one. They're going to be very happy indeed, because why put pressure on a player who can just sit back and relax, wait for his prime time to shine on that CT side. But of course now, round 11, a quick way to kick things off. MSL will find one, takes down Electronics, and the star player has fallen, and now they're going to be looking to hold off the site here. More frags rolling in all across the board, and a very dominant round indeed. Little, the last man standing, he's going to hit the deck, and Dignitas in a very quick fashion, within the space of about 30 seconds, will walk away with a round on the board. 7-4 will be the scoreline, and well, that was an unstoppable slaughter of frags just rolling in. NokSuKao, Lambs for slaughter. They are going to drop that one. But now they're going to be looking to bring this one straight back to the marker. They've got 4 rifles, they've got Naught back to the table. They're not worried about economy at all. And now Dignitas, they have to repeat a similar story.
Yeah, they've managed to get themselves one. It's an important one. But now they've got to capitalize on it, because it would be even worse if they were to lose this round. Everything really does go wrong. That's where they will really be hurting, not in just terms of rounds, but in money. And, well, MSL, he's going to go a bit more aggressive, find the first kill onto Kutcher. Config going to go very aggressive, actually pushing up and giving Spaz a good chance to return. But both players actually holding to the left now, holding into that little chasm that allows possibly Spaz not to check this. He wouldn't check it for 2, that's for sure. The only problem is now they know they're there. Casper is going to find the kill through. It will be a straight trade with Spaz finding another, but will he expect a second player? No, he will not. Config will be given a free kill. Now there's only 2 players left. They've got to try and find these frags, and Cajun is there to help his teammate out against Chopper. And while unless Little can explode into this map, more than doubling his kills, I don't think there's going to be any chance for them in this round.
A very rough situation indeed, and already he finds a beautiful no-scope though, takes down MSL in a huge fashion. But now he's made a statement. Will he be able to follow through? Looking for a second frag. Magic will present himself. But of course the rifle will deliver the kill in close, takes him down, and we do see the teammates, as you say, Dignitas all starting to work as a bit more as a unit. Really just starting to work together. But they still have a long road ahead of them. 5-7 will of course be the scoreline now, and still not 100% the concise Dignitas that we've seen in the past, not the Dignitas we've seen perform at those qualifiers and things such as the major qualifiers. If not even the same players, of course.
That's the big factor here. The new player, also a coach. Like, I don't want to highlight it too often, but it does have to be highlighted. It's not going to be the easiest battle, and playing a map that not many teams have practiced at all is going to make things just worse. And I feel like NokSuK throwing this in as a spanner in the works. It does depend on how their CT side works for them, but if they do have a decent setup, if their players keep hitting their shots, I don't think it will ultimately matter too much. Either way, they're going to go heavily on the outside control, just use the smokes to their advantage. I do quite like that we see the rotation from Cajun leaving Config outside alone, and I think this has actually made a big difference. because now he's just able to play this sort of aggressive style. It does bite him in the back this time, but either way, it's left a 4v4 from the inside. Magic, he's actually been moved as well. He was playing in the sort of main position over towards outside. Now he's been switched over to play ramp. So I know I sort of said it in a joking fashion, but MSL has clearly gone, okay, well, that's not working for you. We need you to go big. You go over here. It's not working for you. Okay, Cajun, you come and help here. Leave Config on his own. And whatever they've done, it has made a big difference. They're finding the frags. Of course, it is only a 4 versus 3 after we see Config traded out from the initial engagement. But let's see if they manage to actually bring this one back now, as we see a decent position actually from Cajun. He's holding very passively, but this position is one that I wanted to see sort of use more. It does mean you need 2 players outside to actually hold it, but it just allows him to have such a passive position. And if he can find that shot, that was lovely. Takes off the head of Chopper. 1 player remains. It's going to be Spaz, and Cajun takes them all.
Cajun just really bringing something completely new to the table there. They have re-jumbled up those positions, and now they're paying the price. But it's going to be a price of nothing. It's actually them being handed rounds on the player, claiming some very early on rewards. And now we're finding ourselves with Dignitas 1 round away from potentially equalizing things, and then it's all to play for with who will walk away with this half. And well, the big thing for me is, as you mentioned, yeah, of course, these teams haven't necessarily played all under the same banner before. But there are a couple of pairings, and it's not like they've not really, as those pairings, played together before. So there will be some synergy and some chemistry there.
Well, even the stand-ins, I'm sure that I wouldn't be like going overzealous here by saying I'm pretty sure every player has played together. Either way, in this round, we are just seeing some pistol play come out for the majority of the players. Zizzle has himself a rifle now, and they're doing a hell of a lot of damage. Kutcher, he's going to be left on his own. He actually manages to hit the headshot. He doesn't know where the final player is, though, and Magic will manage to clutch this one out, but that was way too close for just a quick play with a couple of pistols. Almost manages to take the round. Luckily for the CT side, they're going to be comfortably buying up into this final round, and, well, the no bomb plant, it does mean that they're going to get away with this. And the real problem I actually feel for the CIS side, although they started so strongly, that was so far off the back of Electronic just going ham that when he slowed down, the same as Config, things fell apart. Now we are looking at Chopper saying, well, maybe you should have stepped up a little bit. Electronic shouldn't be having to carry just all the way through, and while Little having a bit of a quieter game as well, only really getting some sort of useless exit frags, maybe a couple of entries along the way, but they need those players to step up, and if they're quiet on the CT side, then it'll be a much bigger problem. There is Little, though. He finds the first frag. Config is punished, and what you can see from the setup, it doesn't matter too much because the rest of the setup will continue, but whether or not MSL actually gets taken down in a moment as well, or whether he actually gets to counter, that's going to be the big thing, because he is in a very open position once this smoke fades.
A very open position, but the frag will present itself. He will take him down, and he's going to walk away with the fruits of that one as Cajun B will pick himself up a frag on towards Kutcher. And this is rapidly deteriorating for the NokSuKao side. Just 3 men standing. Chopper and Electronic, they have to step up. His Spaz looking for something towards the outside angles. But MSL's just going to throw a flash out, deny him the peek. And now with that clock ticking away, 50 seconds coming up on the board here, NokSuKao need to group up and they need to pull something off there. And well, if they are going to be looking for a frag, where can they look for it? Dignitas, they've grouped up together here. They're playing those close angles. And they're giving Nox no room at all.
Now we see Electronic. He's going to get decked over towards the outside position. MSL has had a pretty big round here, finding a couple of players along the way, and well, now we're looking at a more problematic scenario for the remaining 2 players, Chopper and Spaz, looking to try and find a couple of frags, but Magic is just going to end this one, and I think we're looking at an 8-7. I don't feel like Chopper is going to step up and, well, add 4 kills to the 3 frags he's had across the previous 15 rounds. And in fact, it's going to be Magic. So that will be the end of this one. 8-7, a much better scenario than what we saw originally with a 7-3 at, well, just 4 rounds ago. But either way, it will be now a favorable position for Dignitas to come back into.
Still a rough situation, though. 8-7. I've got to say, our Nuke, I'm not 100% a big fan. I'm not going to sit here and
amazing strats.
I'm not going to sit here and chant Dignitas' praises and saying, "Oh, guys, you played so well. Everything was great. You brought it back to the table." With Europe, they repositioned a couple of players like Config, and yeah, he found some frags as well. But still, 8-7 against a team such as NokSuKao over on Nuke after already losing Dignitas' map pick. Not at all what I want to be seeing.
Well, yeah, of course. This could be a great factor. We already spoke about this at the beginning. It'd be a massive ploy for the CIS team if they were able to get themselves a 3-point start. Of course, there's 2 other teams that they have to beat, but this is going to be a very aggressive ploy to start things off. Electronic will manage to trade the first frag that comes out on from Cajun B, and then somehow he's just being allowed to go ham. He's just stepping up the top. Yes, Spaz and Chopper chime in, but they didn't try and trade that kill at all. They just allowed him to have that moment to tap things away, and that's exactly what they wanted. They wanted to get that first round win. They can get themselves rolling now, get the economy built up. I feel like Little getting that AWP as early as possible is going to be another big factor. And it seems like both teams have a similar sort of style in the fact that, well, I was going to say they don't really buy armor, but now we have seen the armor come in behind. But either way, 4 Deagles, a Tech 9, trying to take the heads clean off these CT players. But a little bit of money trying to be made. Little again, he just goes with the pistol as when he doesn't have the AWP. And the rest of the players will see 3 rifles alongside 1 SMG, and Twitch is going to start this off nicely.
Problem for the Dignitas side is every single frag on the NokSuKao side is just in reach, and well, MSL will try his best. We do see 2 frags quickly rolling in with those Deagles. Match is going to find another one with the Tech 9, so rapidly going to be looking into their favour. In fact, they found those frags that were within reach, and well, give him credit, it's looking better, but now Kucha going to be picking up one for himself. Chopper, the last man standing, brings it back to a 1v1, and it's going to be the new man, Magic himself, and a 1v1 against Chopper, and just by the skin of his teeth, he's going to claw it away. 48 HP left, cutting it real close, but he finds the frag, and we're going to be seeing, albeit a very dominant pistol round from NokSuKao side. They've stepped up the mark. Magic clutches it out for his team, and we're going to be seeing a 9-8 scoreline with a complete reset coming to fruition on the NokSuKao's economy.
Yeah, that's really problematic. A nice start, of course. Little, that's the one thing I always question. If he is going to save, he relies so heavily on everyone else, so they go for 3 rifles, but they just got played there. A couple of pushes outside, we saw the fall. One player then goes, oh, I better retreat into A main. They have a player waiting in A main, and it just looked like they handed away all of the map control. We can see some aggression coming out here from Little, and that's quite a good idea. I think he could catch Cage and B. He's being very, very careful and will even take the frag, leaving himself an AK. Probably not the best player to have that AK, but if he can retreat back and hand it over to a teammate, that would be very viable. Casper actually going to grab himself a frag as well, leaving this into a 4 versus 4, but heavily favouring that T side.
Still a rough situation though. NokSuKao have potential to find themselves a couple of frags. For the Dignitas side, all they have to do is they have to isolate them off, force them into those 1v1s, and take those long-range frags of the rifles that they are going to be creeping themselves up towards ramp here. Just clearing it out piece by piece. No frags really going to be overly presenting themselves. Is the clock going to be just ticking down? 50 seconds on the board. How do Dignitas want to go about this one? Are they going to be heading towards B? Or will they wrap directly back in towards the A site? That is going to be the question. We're going to be seeing the answer soon. It's going to be them heading towards the B site now. A couple of smokes in hand. They have some flashes. They are going to be getting thrown out, just blocking off window. And now it comes down to one player. He's over towards vent. Going to be trying to make the best of this pistol. But in the grand scheme of things, it's completely empty site. It's going to be handed over. Electronic trying his best, but he's going to fall to the hands of MSL. And the bomb will be going down in the favour of Dignitas.
Of course, pistols, not the ideal scenario for either of these teams. If they can get a player or 2 more, that would be lovely. Of course, we see Casper only on 7 HP, so if he can hit...
Going to be answering that question. Takes down Casper. A great way to kick things off. He's playing this one with a whole load of energy. They will open things up.
Okay, well, they've got an AWP over outside. Let's leave that. Let's go back towards ramp. And he went, hello. I've just rotated over. I'm going to do even more damage from here. And, well, this is actually quite smart. I like it. Whether it will work on multiple occasions, that's another thing altogether. That Molotov going to do a hell of a lot of damage and slow the push all the way down. And Casper, well, he's made a bit of a mistake there. He's pushed in. He's given them the bomb. And now, well, there really isn't too much that we can actually expect to be achieved by Dignitas. They've just got to try and do damage. That bomb is isolated. They should have every single position covered, all the nades available to them. And although there's a little bit of armor on a couple of players, ultimately this round has to be done.
I think at this point you might be right. Done and dusted. One man will fall. MSL going to be hitting the deck fairly early on here, and now it's going to be Cage and B looking for something with the P250. Can he find himself a Frank there? Will get knocked down to just 5 HP, playing with the hands of death. Is the clock going to be ticking down? A minute on board here. If he wants to do something, it has to be now. Kutcher will take down Magic. Cage and B will fall. Now it's all on Convict. 72 HP, trying to at least find something with the CZ, and he will put it off. But not before Little will answer back with the AWP. Takes him down. We get ourselves at a 10-10 scoreline. Both teams all to play for. Dignitas, of course, they don't want to be dropping out in this first series. They're playing every single match today, so they do have to start stepping up to the mark. And to lose that first series will not be a great way to kick things off. And it's going to be NokSuKao looking to inflict that damage, as if they walk away with a victory on Nuke, we will be seeing just that.
Yeah, and mentality-wise, that would suck to lose to, well, the least well-known team of all of them. No, not necessarily the worst. I'd say it's like the talent they've got is actually pretty impressive. I would say possibly people underestimating this team, but in terms of who we would actually select to win it in a more normal circumstance, you would, of course, go for Dignitas, and most people went for Dignitas now. Either way, it is going to be that build up onto the outside yet again. This time there isn't an AWP waiting for them. They've used their smokes wisely, gone with nades, but there's the counter nades. The Molotov going to be thrown out, leaving Casper to take this fight alone. He does actually manage to win it with just 1 HP and will chuck the rifle back. Config managing to grab another kill, and Little, well, he still has that surprise factor for a second or two, taking 48 HP to a player with just 1, and he's going to completely whiff the shot. That's now an AWP over to Cajun, which of course is just like handing candy straight to the baby, and either way, now it's just going to be down to those couple of players left. Not a good scenario for the side. NokSuKao. Wow, I've completely mucked that one up. That name is horrific.
We find ourselves with more frags rolling in electronic. We'll find one, but just not going to be enough. Cajun B, the baby himself, as you might aptly put, takes him down, delivering frags with the AWP there. And, well, you've got to give him credit. 17-11. He's going to be doing the damage in this series so far. Has stepped up to the plate, picking up some more frags consistently. There's a lot more damage he needs to pull off there. So if they want to be walking away with more rounds, we're going to need to see those AWPs and rifles step up. We said Cajun B, we said Config. Casper was a name that was mentioned. Magic is starting to do something. Looking at MSL as well. Basically, all 5 of them just need to have some more synergy, some more team play. Pushing together, of course, so they're going to be holding in this default. MSL will open things up, finds 2 in fact, so he's heard our call. He's found himself 2, looking to make it 3. The flash will roll out. Luckily for him, nothing will present itself. There's only one player, it's going to be Little, and he's going to be looking with the AWP, of course, to take him down. So it's going to be electronic this time around, finds himself a frag on towards Magic, and it's all just falling apart. They're getting dismantled piece by piece.
Yeah, not the start they were looking for on this CT side. Dignitas managing to claw the first half back, and they're possibly going to claw themselves into a bigger lead here, which would be wonderful for their team. Little going to be in a very good position though. This is another shot, and that has been a big factor. Missing the shots on that AWP. He invests so much money in it, but here is Spaz. He will drop 1. He's dropped the bomb planter, so that's not going to be a possibility just yet. The push is coming on towards him, and he faces at the wrong time, peeks away. MSL will grab that, and Cajun, well, he has been the better AWPer, and actually, in this round, MSL was the star. He picked up 4 frags, massive from the in-game leader, and that's been the difference. I feel like there's a balance, a much better balance on the Dignitas side at the moment, with every single player coming across, even Casper coming up with 12 kills, and you look at the other side of things, Spaz, he may be quiet, but Chopper's not even on the map.
100%. And the interesting dynamic that actually does come to mind is, with Casper playing, perhaps it gives MSL a bit more opportunity to take a step back from that leading man role and focus just a little bit more on fragging, because of course you've got that coach knowledge there. He's going to know all the strategies, know all of the calls that MSL will make, and albeit, yes, I'm not quite sure how the calling dynamic originally works within the Dignitas side.
I think it's heavily on MSL.
If it is heavily on MSL, maybe there's an opportunity for him to fall back and purely rely on those gut thinking calls in the middle of those rounds and not necessarily kick things off with the calls. And that'll give an opportunity to focus just a little bit more on that fragging power. And, you know, we can't deny we are seeing him just really step up to the plate here when it comes down to frags. Cajun B going to be trying his best with the AWP as well. Nearly an opportunity to find a frag on towards the outside. Won't quite be able to claim it. But even then, he has the information. The only problem for him is Chopper. Right up close and personal. Spaz will find one with Deagle, tagging away. Spaz looking to repeat a similar favor. He's going to do it. Takes down Config as well. Some great stuff coming with the Deagle. Kicking things off, and now it's going to be Chopper. He gets taken down by Cajun B. And Kutcher looking for a frag himself.
Yeah, this leaves actually 2 frags coming into the Spaz, so he's done well so far. Cajun already taking a dink from a USP, meaning 1 more, and he will be out of the round as well. So the teams may not be safe just yet. Still have a few pistols to deal with, and not going to be the end of the round until that fat lady is singing. And there you go. Kutcher finds that headshot. There's going to be the AWP shot. MSL now pushing in. Gets taken down to just 2 HP. This is going to be down now just to Magic. He's got to clutch this out alone. He's got 20 seconds. The bomb can possibly go down, but so many positions. They managed to win with just pistols. That's a ridiculous round. And Dignitas, I spoke about them. Oh yeah, maybe they'll make their lead bigger. Well, the curse is completely in play here. The Russian side, the CIS side, they come straight back into this round with just pistols, and Dignitas are now having to buy all the way back up, and the buy comes in for NokSuKao.
That is the big thing. Both teams, they are going to be on a buy right now. This comes down to putting the pedal straight to the floor here. Dignitas, they need to step up to the plate if they want to be walking away with a bit of a round lead, because they're swiftly about to lose it. NokSuKao competing, picking up their 12th, of course, and already do see Matters opening things up with a bit of spray towards door, clearing out that position. As Little going to be looking to spot out Cajun B. Spaz though will open things up, takes down Magic, so kicking things off in a great fashion, but now Cajun B looking to find himself a trade, but Little will answer back, takes him down as well. 2 men have fallen for the Dignitas side. Will any more follow? That's going to be the question now, as it looks like Spam's going to pick up a frag on towards Casper. And now we just see Config and MSL. What can they do here? Do they have an answer at all, or are they just going to crumble?
Well, the team play's gone. Each player there pushing individually, trying to make those Hail Mary plays. Chopper takes a little bit of time for him to actually spot MSL, and instead MSL will grab another frag, making this a little bit more possible for Config. Of course, he is one of the star fraggers for this team. You expect an awful lot from him. Now he just has to sort of use his positional play to possibly grab one more. Little is going to get taken down, but Kutcher is so quick on that trade. And will he manage to retrieve the AWP? Yes, he will. So nice round from NokSuKao, and well, now the economy really is hurting. That pistol win has done so much for the CIS team, and it's just going to leave them with some pistols here to actually try and make something work. And well, we were sort of talking about the Dignitas fight back. Maybe they will manage to do this. Maybe they'll be able to get themselves to that third map and try and bring this one home on Overpass. Either way, they've still got to win this map. Otherwise, they are going to lose the first 3 points and have to face AGG and Team X, who, for many, I would say, are arguably the better teams.
Big worrying factor is maybe a loss against AGG would have been acceptable, or they should realistically have been able to pick up 2 easy wins against NokSuKao and Team X.
I would say Team X are probably the harder one.
Well, yeah, I think that was kind of my original thought process. Managed to screw it. Well, the Team X would have been the harder team, but of course Little this time around actually going to be looking to step up in a huge way, finding himself 2. Electronic will pick up 1 as well, and this eco round being mowed down 1 by 1, and I'm just going to let this one flow to go back to my original point, because arguably where their losses should have been picked up, that's fine, but they need to be picking up they need to be picking up the games against Team X at least.
There had to be a Danish kickoff there. Obviously, a few mix-ups or a few players who are not from the Danish scene, but the majority of the players will know each other very well, and tactically you're going to have that set up a little bit better on Team X. And well, you talk about the fact that they actually won a tournament yesterday, arguably not a particularly big tournament, but it's 10 grand into the banks for them. They're going to be feeling very confident. They beat Team Spirit as well. And I feel like Dignitas, they need to come back and take this one. It's going to start off well. Magic will manage to find the first frag in the round. Little going to throw out a nade, which should land onto Casper. And, well, Magis has taken a lot of damage already, so not the end of the world so far for the CT side. But it has to be said, any sort of round, any sort of win for the Dignitas side will bring that economy back, because NokSuKao have not had too many rounds in a row here. It's a very, very close affair.
Close indeed. 4 versus 5 situation. NokSuKao looking to find themselves a way back into this one. They do have the AWP still in the hands of Little, as well as Electronic looking for a frag here. And another key play for me is now Spaz, but just as we say Spaz, Little will find a frag, takes down Cajun B. Now I'm going to be seeing them just work out exactly where the weak points are that they can put pressure on. And now we do see Spaz, the player, as aptly mentioned, finding himself 1, will quickly be traded back by Config. But already now, taking as they appear to have found themselves an opportunity over towards this B site. They are going to get themselves out now, looking to go for this bomb plant. They've managed to be planting away in that smoke nice and comfortably. But NokSuKao now, they're going to be fully aware of what is taking place. They're going to be quick on their heels, going for the rotate. But they have to push together here, Tom. If they do push together, I'm not going to write off this rotate completely, but it's going to be MSL to kick things off. Finds a frag on towards Electronic. And now we find ourselves watching just Little and Chopper trying to keep the dreams well and truly intact. Little going to be looking towards Config. The flashes Molotov's going to be rolling out, forcing Config out of position there. Little still has not spotted him out though. He's just playing around that corner. And with the bomb ticking away, they're cutting it very, very close.
Yeah, that Molotov was... I'm not sure what that was aimed at. It didn't hit anything that needed to be hit. Config now going to be going way more aggressive to try and drop one of these remaining players. Little will find him instead. But yeah, that Molotov played a crucial factor. If they could have found Config, they could have gone pushing the remaining 2 players were low. There's a much higher chance of them actually winning that round. But it hits the top of the silo and sort of spreads a little bit around and doesn't reach him at all. That either has to go into the vent or has to go behind. And it does neither. So the Molotov makes no factor, and I am really worried at the fact right now that Chopper has not had a kill in such a long time, and even the kills he had, yeah, there was 1 or 2 kills early on where he won a round for his team, but other than that, I really don't know what's going on here. He's currently on 6 frags.
They tried and failed, but now we find ourselves in a 13-13 scoreline. Chopper needs to step up to the mark. Needs to start really being able to do something for his team, whether it's just meshing in that support role. Anything would be better than nothing. Of course, it's just 6 frags on the board. It's a little bit bleak, but open things up. It will be managed. Takes down Spaz, so he's already going to be falling. And now the pressure is on the Nox side. Chopper needs to fill the space. He needs to do something. So we are going to be witnessing this long push rollout. They're going to be getting themselves over towards Secret, looking to hit towards that B site perhaps. And it's going to be Chopper, the man himself, holding that one.
Well, yeah, also he's been sort of soloing that B site. The bomb will actually be dropped, slowing them down a little bit. Little finds that kill. And, well, the other factor is he's been playing ramp, and Ramp, I don't feel like it's the most difficult position if you use your nades well. Kutcher will fall in the meantime, and well, he's just trying to play this sort of constant rotation role. Little is going to lose his head, and now it's actually looking pretty damn good. Chopper, he has no chance here. He's completely surrounded. Electronic is going to be in position to try and hold something off, but every single player drops. 4 players survive. Magisk and Cajun B clearing up the round with a little bit of help from MSL. And while now we're sort of looking at, is this even a buy-worthy situation? You've got Little on 6,800, Chopper on 5,600, and then the rest of the players, well, they're close to a buy, but Electronic and Kutcher even aren't. I would say that they just have to go for pistols, and now this situation is a horrible one. Little, he has to go big. Chopper, well, he has to completely change the game he's been playing, and Spaz, well, if he can get a kill or 2, it will be valuable with that FAMAS.
Well, I'm going to be seeing Electronic looking for something with this pistol. As you so well predicted, Kutcher and Electronic both limited just to those 5.7s, which is very bleak. But of course, it's going to be Dignitas. They are on a massive upper foot right now, 14-13, looking to take this map point here, looking to bring it to the full 3, the full Monty. As it will be Little looking for a frag on towards Cajun B to kick things off. A Chopper creeping up towards Secret, making sure there is no outside presence taking place. Well, that AP coming in, he can't be sure, and that doubt's certainly going to be playing on the NokSuKao's minds as Electronic playing up above Shack there, looking for something towards main. But even then, nothing going to present itself just yet now. As MSL going to be throwing a couple of flashes. This is where the push will roll in. Will he be able to find the frags? Spam. He's got one with the FAMAS. It's going to be Electronic spamming away the 5.7. Finds one. Looking to find 2, and he's going to do that. Finds 3 as well. Electronic looking to do so much work here. Kutcher going to find 1 for himself. These pistols have just mowed them down. And they're just left with 1 man left. It's all going to be on config. And where can he run here? He's just dipping through those vents, trying to stay alive. Kutcher will drop right in his face and takes him down. 14-14 will be the scoreline. Out of nowhere, NokSuKao will pull it back. And now Dignitas are left with limited money to play with.
Yeah, and they try and go for the sort of close-range battles over towards that A position, and it just didn't work. Electronic stepped up massive when he was needed. Him, Little, and Kutcher now all above 20 frags. It is sort of making up for that problematic scenario of Chopper being so far behind. Either way, they now have to fall by, and it's Casper having to suffer a little bit. Not surprised by that at all, but again, it looks like they're trying to go something fairly aggressive towards the A site, slowed down by the nades. Still looking for some outside positioning here, but not finding too much as of yet. Kutcher going for a bit more of an information play, and well, you can actually see Little, he's playing all the way at the very back of the map at the moment, very, very far back, all the way over towards the ramp position, just holding this down. They have switched things up. They've moved positions of Chopper, and that's going to leave him over playing towards Secret.
Well, the beautiful thing here, Tom, is at this point in this game, you're going to be seeing the blood pumping through NokSuKao's veins. They know they are just 2 rounds away from potentially winning out a BO3 against Dignitas, and that's one hell of an achievement alone. Albeit they've not played for 2 weeks, but still stands. They have walked all over the victory, and well, Chopper's going to be trying his best. Goes to repeat, finds himself 1. I'm going to be seeing Config quick on his heels, but the Molotov will force him off, and now he can't go for the trade frags. Already a 1-man advantage will fall into the hands of the NokSuKao side. Little still going to be playing very far back indeed, not going to be just flinching at all, not moving a muscle. He's actually joined by his teammate there.
Yeah, and they're going to switch this up. They want to use that AWP more effectively. Kutcher clearly saying, okay, I want you to take a different position now, as they are not going in this direction, and they know how vital Little has been on this CT side so far. Electronic now playing over towards that A site, and he has to go big once again. If he can take down MSL, it would be so valuable. He does just that. He's taking a lot of damage, though, and they take 2 frags very quickly back. Already we find another one as Magix opens up the round once again, and this leaves only 2 players. Kutcher going to be going cheeky. He needs to find the frag. He does just that. Now he needs his teammate Chopper to jump up. Cajun, he's too quick on the trigger, and it's going to come down to this 1v1. Cajun versus Kutcher, and will they manage to pull this one off? It's going to be the peak coming out from Kutcher pretty damn soon. The bomb is planted in a quite decent position as well. The second he taps this bomb, it looks like he's just going to go for the straight hold. Cajun needs to peek this one. He needs to go for the kill. It's going to go for the defuse, but not quite there. Hits the headshot with the Glock. And imagine if he had more health.
Came down to just 1 second. Very close to fuse indeed. But we're going to be rolling into our final round, Tom. 15-14 as a scoreline. Dignitas, they've picked up this map point. They still need 1 more round to stop NokSuKao from bringing it straight back into the hands of overtime. And the tools NokSuKao have to try and pull this one off, it's going to be 3 rifles and 2 pistols. Can't knock them though, those pistols have done some huge stuff
just
before.
A rifle. For Electronic, it's anything. He's a god with those pistols. However, Config will find Chopper. At this stage, I can't even say it's that big a loss. That's like 0.001 of their frags gone in that bit alone. He really has not been having a good game at all. And, well, at this stage he may have to step up on that third map, and you think, well, just a kill or two, that really could have made a big difference. However, they've got to try and retrieve the rifle. It is not in a good position at all, and Spaz, you can see, is going to try and go for a bit of aggression, but now it looks like they're trying to take over that position. Nice from Little. He's using the rifle. It's not his ideal weapon. Going to reload, but Casper's going to find that frag. It's still a 3 versus 3, but now they're losing players by the second. Casper steps up big in this round. Kutcher, he's going to be down, and now Electronic, he has to pull off a 1v3 with a 5-7 and armor. No nades or a kit.
A very tough situation, and the key thing there is no kit. That basically allows him to have no time to play this one out cool. Goes through a very aggressive frag early on, but he's going to be taken down by Casper, and that is that done and dusted. 16